Welcome to Feats and Fables, a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons live play game just for adventurers like you. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, all the socials, and YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts by searching for Feats and Fables. If you want to watch us live, and we'd love to have you, please join us Monday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, searching for Feats and Fables. I'm Paige Lightman, the DM, and I'd like to welcome you to Aglarond. Aglarond is a peaceful pastoral land of half-elves. Our heroes are mostly still part of the Foresters, a group of elite scouts and rangers charged with defending Aglarond's borders, particularly against undead from the evil fascist nation of Thay. Our heroes are heading towards the Singing Sands, racing the nation of Thay to try and recover an ancient elven artifact. The Red Wizards of Thay wish to warp the artifact for their own evil purposes. Currently, our heroes are in the mountains of Eastern Aglarond, and they're fixing to take a shortcut underground to get to the disputed border region between Aglarond, Thesk, and Thay. Once they're there, they have two jobs: rescue a bunch of Null Matriarchs and find the artifact. So let's meet our heroes. All right, we have our... Joe says I can go now.
Yes.
Okay. It was vicious gesticulation. All right.
This push wasn't working, so I was like, let's wait a sec. Okay.
Fair enough. We have the fearless leader of the group, Victor Toussaint, a human eldritch knight fighter played by Ron Frankie.
Looking forward to seeing the sun again.
Keep hoping. We have Wildfire, a Fire Genasi evoker wizard played by Joe Streaky.
Looking forward to no comeuppance.
We have Ross, a lizard folk Drake Warden ranger played by Coda of Codab Games.
Hello, everyone.
We either have Bert, a bugbear alchemist, or Malagar, a drow cleric, played by Dr. Andrew Wong.
You know, I think these edibles are legal in the Dwarven Kingdom, but I'm not really sure, Bert.
We also have Belwyn, a dwarven paladin played by Ben Heisler.
The good news is you didn't have to worry about if they're legal or not, as long as you're still with me.
It's good being a princess.
Well, so long as you share.
All right, so when last we left our heroes, you were in the basement of Boulder Hall, and you were getting ready to head out into the Underdark, the dark network of tunnels beneath Faerun. You were getting ready to head out into the Underdark and find the shortcut under the river, safely hidden from Thay's forces. The dwarves have gotten your riding lizards together. They actually give you one extra, and they've loaded them up with panniers of water and food and coal for fires, as well as all sorts of caving gear like pitons and rope ladders, and a thorough supply of torches and oil. In fact, Brightboot, Belwyn's father, Queen Brangian, Belwyn's mother, and Queen Freya, Belwyn's aunt, come to see you off, along with various luminaries from throughout Boulder Hall.
It's funny that they do, because they come in dancing, Brother Founder. Brother
already
Founder,
have a
2-month subscription. Thank you, sir.
Let us start with the dance.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah.
Brother Flounder is giving Paige an inspiration.
Aww.
Woo! High five! High five, my sibling Flounder!
I love that as soon as the dance comes on, holds the fire goddamn.
Tough luck, Brian. You're just jealous you can't dance with us. You, at home, in our home audience, dance! Get some exercise. Let's go!
We call that self-care now. It's fine.
Yeah!
Yeah, there you go.
Just know I am dancing on the inside. I just realized I forgot to set up the player and DM inspiration, so give me a few
So
seconds.
on the outside, he is just desperately fumbling.
So I also start the game with an inspiration from Bologna last week or Kurgosh.
I think
Regardless, I have a DM
You are
inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, Brother Fowler just reminded us that was left over from last week.
Yes.
Excellent.
All we have to do is get to the point where you can actually roll dice.
I'm happy. I'm just here to play D&D. Sometimes that involves rolling dice. Sometimes it don't.
So true.
Quick, challenge your guard to an arm wrestling contest.
Ugh. All right. So you are in the lower caves of Boulder Hall. You march past a whole bunch of casks where the dwarven holy water has been aging for decades. And there's a big metal door set into one of the walls. And there's all kinds of like murder tunnels past it. And at the end of that, there's another big metal door set into the walls. And a group of dwarven scouts, tunnel rangers, take you to the end of that, open up the door, and you can kind of feel around you a large open space, and you smell the smell of caves, dirt and water and clay. And there's a large room of unworked stone in front of you with a path clearly trod down the middle of it. It heads forward about 200 feet and then makes a right-hand turn.
I look up. How high is the ceiling?
Ceiling, like the room's pretty big. Like this, it's about 50 feet across and probably 50 feet high.
Okay, so I can just barely see it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a map. Since we're going to be traveling in tunnels, is it like every time we get to a fork, there'll be symbols that are unclear, but we'll have like the key to them, and we turn left or right depending on what our key says?
It is a combined map, so it looks like several. You saw the maps that they used to make this one, because obviously Victor's very into maps. They took several historical maps and kind of overlaid them on a light table. So it's a table with a candle under it, so it shines through, and a glass table so the light can shine through and they can trace.
We're dwarves. It's magic lights. Come on.
I understand that.
I was gonna say, that sounds like
It's a light
way-
cantrip.
It's a great way to set everything on fire.
You just have to be careful.
That's what cantrips are for. It's fine.
Sure. Somebody casts a light cantrip under the table so you can see the trace-throughs of them. And they took several historical maps and kind of pieced them together, and then brought in a bunch of the tunnel rats, which is a group of dwarven scouts that maintains these tunnels looking for threats coming that way. And took kind of some of their knowledge of it and amended those maps, and then made several copies of it. And they actually give you 2. So it's a big map. It's like 5 feet across. And it's a combination of actual pictures of what you should be going through and notes on different tunnel marks that you should see. So, Brightboot and Brangian come over to Belwyn and give her big hugs. You can tell, well, Malagar and Ross can tell, that Brangian is trying to be cool about it, but you can almost see like a little tears forming in her eyes a little bit.
Belwyn hugs back, big old hugs. It's like, don't worry, Ma. When I come back, we'll be true members of the Aglarond Council.
I do not want you given away at Boulder Hall. We will not be subjects of Aglarond. That sets her right on the angry path, which is something she deals with much easier.
I'm helping her save face.
I know you are. She does too. Brightboot gives his daughter a big warm hug as well, as does Freya. Brightboot also goes to the lizards and completely rearranges all of the packs on Belwyn's lizard. And at long last, I believe you become ready to go, unless y'all are going to do something.
Hey, man. And Bert comes wandering in. He's actually got a new tie-dyed shirt on, and he's got this really big, greasy bag just full of pork rinds that he's just shoveling away at. He's like, "Hey, where you going?"
We're leaving, Bert. We've talked about this, don't you remember?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. You're going to go to the burnings. It's really hot there, man.
No, well, yes, we will be going to the Burning Sands, but we've been ordered to go and help the Knoll. Are those pork things you eat?
Yeah. You want some?
I do.
Cool.
Yeah,
Hey.
what the singing sounds, not the burning sounds.
Oh,
I'm not-
right. Yeah,
I didn't have to
singing.
take the Rokugan here.
You only wish.
That would be an excellent stream as well.
Let's
Well-
not go to Rokugan. It's a silly place.
It is a silly place.
That is true.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be rough. You're gonna need these pork rinds more than I do, and he'll hand over that. And oh hey, no, let me give you. He hands over another small bag of something to Ross. You'll also probably need this too.
What are these? They don't smell nearly as good as the rinds.
Well, once you have those, the rinds will smell so much better too. Don't worry about it. They go together really great, man.
Wait a minute. Didn't you talk to Victor about coming with us?
No. No, I actually, no, I didn't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Victor, did we talk about that? I can't really remember.
We talked about many things, but I think at the end of it, you decided you're going to stay here with the dwarves.
Yeah. They're really cool. I mean, they're a little wound up, and so like we're talking about like ways to like get them to relax a little bit, and so we're gonna have more conversations. We're gonna rap a little more along these lines. It's gonna be great.
Well, good luck to you, friend. And if you ever find yourself on the southern shores of the Moonsea, be sure to seek out my tribe with more of your goodies.
Yeah, no, lizard folk, they definitely have a lot of interesting things they enjoy that mammals don't. It's really interesting. Yeah, no, I hope I see all of you, like sometime again. Be really good. And Malagar, and then I'll be seeing you again, so
I hope your sales go well, Bert.
oh yeah, and, they always do. People keep coming back. I don't know why. Anyone else need anything before they go? Belwyn, we already talked, but
Well, I think I'm well loaded down, but thank you.
I mean, at this point, Ross will kind of turn back to the riding lizards.
Bert, can you believe they want me to ride one of these reptiles?
Yeah, that's really weird. It'd be like me being on like the back of another bugbear.
I mean, a horse is one thing. To ride your prey into the dirt before eating it is prideful, but this...
No, you're like the same, like basically the same species, right?
They're not the same species.
Bert's not a biologist.
Neither is Ross.
No, they're not. I continue adjusting strap. Not even close.
But it is super weird though, because they look just like you.
Well... I think it is about time we get going. Victor, do we have everything together?
Yeah, we have everything, and we've double checked. We're ready to go.
All right, the dwarves open up the doors, and you are shown out the back door of Boulder Hall. Behind you, the big metal door closes with a very final clang.
It's weird. The narrator makes it sound like I can't just turn around and do the special knock and go back home.
I mean, you could.
God.
Hey,
I mean, can you though?
right? You know, I'm gonna hope that I can in my heart.
Ross looks around.
What narrator? Are you hearing voices, Belwyn?
Wait a minute. You're saying there's not somebody that narrates your whole life since you're, the center of the story?
We've gone from D&D to Fleabag.
Listen, princess, I don't know if you have hired somebody to follow you around and tell the story of your life in epic poetry all the time, but out here in the rest of the world, people don't have that sort of thing.
That's what Silvio used to do. It was quite annoying.
Belwyn turns from her party and looks at the camera and says, "If it was anything new." Right then, let's keep going.
Ross looks around.
Who are you talking to?
So are y'all using any light at all, or we're just walking around in the dark?
Do we all have dark vision?
I believe.
No.
This will be fine though.
Once again, I am reminded that I am the only person in the party without dark vision. How
Well,
does
just
this
hold
keep
tightly.
happening?
Ice could just hold tightly onto his mount and he'll be fine.
I don't have dark vision either, but we did find one set of goggles of the night that I'm currently wearing.
Paige, actually, I currently have attuned a lantern.
That's true, you do.
But using like real light while we're traveling through the caves seems really dangerous.
Does
Yeah.
it?
I mean,
Yeah,
no
because
one-
it projects our presence significantly farther than where we are.
Does
No,
Victor
We're
actually,
the only light down here.
I think we would have prepared for this. Either Wildfire or Ross would have been able to prepare for this eventuality with the dark vision spell, which lasts 8 hours.
Sure, I could buy a scroll. I could get a scroll of dark vision and have scribed it last night. That's not a problem.
Sure.
Because
I think it's only first level?
it's second level.
Second level?
It's second level. I will replace a second level spell. Just a moment.
I
Sure.
Oh.
So here's now a question about my magic item. Do I have control over it burning?
The Lantern of Revealing?
No, it's a ghost lantern.
Oh, Ghost Lantern, sure. Which kind of lantern?
I don't actually like. According to the picture, it is not a covered lantern, and it's lit by the presence of a spirit.
Put it in the stock.
But yeah.
Oh no, it lights up on command. Never mind.
Yeah.
We're good.
You were saying something, Malagar?
Oh, I do have a little bit of dark vision I could share, but it probably wouldn't last us the whole trip. It's really more of a situational kind of thing.
So, Coda, I just want to make sure I understood what I understood. Ross is no longer attuned to the Ghost Lantern?
No, I am attuned.
Okay.
I've got that, my gauntlets, and the Sword of Good Luck. Or luck.
Okay, because I was just wondering, because the Ghost Lantern's property of you magically stabilizes you with a touch if you fall unconscious with it.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's actually part of the reason I reattuned with it.
Yes.
Turns out, dying one time kind of makes you not want to repeat that.
Mhm.
Up to you.
So I give Ross some dark vision so we don't have to travel with any light.
Okay. So once you get all the lights extinguished, you can't see all of the pretty colors, but you can still see that this is an active living cavern with water-based features in it that are still growing, and you can hear water dripping and popping.
Do lizard men have vivid color vision to begin with?
Their vision's based mostly on movement.
Right, so he's fine.
Yeah.
Only if he's spliced with frog DNA, which
Well,
I'm
how-
assuming
It's hard to be
Ross
sure.
isn't.
Wait, does that mean that Ross is hermaphroditic then?
Is what?
I mean, I assume so. That's the way all lizards work, right?
Hermaphro, what now?
Oh.
What does that mean? What are you saying about me?
Oh no, I have etchings covering this. Hang on. and Malaga rustles around in one of the saddlebags. And we'll,
Perhaps we look at those on a break.
like the question was asked, he'll put them back away. But he'll actually, as he's doing this, he'll reach over and touch Ross on the shoulder and go, also, here's a small blessing of my God, I just forgot how to say the name of the goddess.
Sune.
Sune, thank you. Woohoo! Fully licensed, Eric. Listen, I'm just learning all of this. I had to consult my manual again. Blessings of Sune upon you, since you seem like the sort who might run out in front and cause trouble. So you have advantage on your next initiative roll that you make.
I definitely love the image of like, have a blessing of, and he turns around for a second, flips a couple pages in a book. Sune.
Yeah, Sune.
Listen, I meant to write on the back of the holy symbol.
You're going to need to decide here and here on this contract, though. Just
yes.
single indemnity, it's fine.
All right, so you head forth into the caves, and it's only about 20 or 30 miles underground. But that's 20 or 30 miles as the dragon flies. Because of the nature of caves, you're forced to go way around out of your way. On multiple occasions, you find that the passage you were supposed to take has collapsed. But in other cases, you find new ones have opened up and lead you approximately in the correct direction. And thus it goes for the first day. You see all different types of caves. You run into some caves that are worked, and obviously dwarven worked. I will give you that one for free, Ms. Belwyn. Pardon me. Belwyn HRH.
There you go.
Yes. And after some amount of time, because I'm not sure how any of you would tell time at this point, but at some point in time, Victor will allow you to rest.
Dark vision only lasts 8 hours, so after 8 hours...
you do have a good timer.
At 8 hours, we're like, cool, 8 hours have passed, Ross can't see anymore.
Oh God, I'm blind.
Oh, Victor, we should probably stop.
So
That
the
was 8
question
hours.
is, so are you only walking 8 hours a day? I mean, if you walk for 8 hours and you rest for 8 hours, what are you doing with the other 8 hours is my only question.
Well, it's like a travel assumes 8 hours a day. I'm fine with pushing it personally, but
I mean, we rest for 8 hours in base camp, but we also take like a lunch break and
Sure.
other breaks.
Okay.
The sleeping of 8 hours doesn't include setting up camp,
Sure.
making food, checking for bad stuff around, yada yada.
So do you make little fires at night to, or on your breaks to heat up your food?
Would making fires in a cave system be wise? Like, would the air situation necessarily?
If it's a very small cave, you could be in trouble.
if people need to, I'll just produce flame if people need to heat their breakfast burritos.
Dwarven breakfast burritos are extremely hardy.
Well, sure, and they do not technically require heating, though they are a little better with it.
Yes.
So I'll just produce flame and just use my hand to heat the food. There's no reason to light anything on fire in the cave system. Seems like a lot of work.
So
Fried
do we
kebabs, they're not burritos.
do we come across a lot of branchings that we don't take?
Yes, you do come across a fair number of branchings, not all of which you take.
Okay. So rather than being a tunnel like under the river, it's basically just the dwarves put us in the Underdark. And they've, and it goes under the river, but it's not really like a dwarven tunnel per se.
You have found certain, of the traveling you've done today, probably 70% of it has been in dwarf work tunnels. Many of them long abandoned.
Sure.
So significant improvements.
Yes. And some of them collapsed and crushed and moved around.
I
Under-
can't tell if this is better or worse than the freezing mountains outside.
The thing is, it's a constant, cave temperature, I think it's 58 degrees. So it's a constant 58 degrees. It is technically warmer than the mountains at night, but definitely colder than the mountains during the day.
No, that sounds awful. See, and my judge is, would I, the player, be happy in a constant 58 degrees? No. Well, then Ross, definitely not happy.
It's kind of surprising riding lizards are the animal du jour, because you wouldn't think lizards would be super happy in this kind of cold.
Coda, did you just admit to being a lizard person?
Yes.
Admit to, he's always been a lizard person.
Always.
So since we've had some personnel changes, should we set up our new watch order?
Ooh, that might be good.
That is true.
I don't need to sleep much.
Oh god, that requires me to figure out how I get my spells back.
I know, Coda.
don't
We're awful. We're totally making you use those character abilities.
I
The
don't
worst.
think I need straight sleep time.
I mean, do you need gay sleep time? Because that I can provide.
I don't know. Did we ever figure out if a caster needs to have like straight uninterrupted rest, or can they stop and do a watch rotation?
You can do a watch rotation, but there can't be anything interesting that happens during it, functionally.
Okay.
If there is something interesting that happens to it, your resting is interrupted.
And the clock's reset.
Yep.
Because I think with watching, that also pushes our rest further than 8 hours. Because
we do basically 3 4-hour shifts, right?
Right. Right. So at the very least, we're going to rest for 12, to make sure everybody gets a full night's rest. I'll take last watch.
all right.
I mean, I will be more than happy to take the first watch.
I'll take
Alright.
first watch.
Then that puts Malagar on the second and third watch.
Oh god, guys! I just realized that even Goose has dark vision.
Good boy.
Good girl.
Good girl. Sorry.
It's definitely female. One day, all of you will twig to that, and on that day, I will dance like unprovoked. But till then,
I think Brother Flounder does have the right of it from here on out. I just need a seeing eye Goose.
you do. You do.
And I'll take the crappy watch
All right.
in the middle.
Mid watch.
But all right. So in theory, we try and make it to day 2.
All right. You.
During the evening.
Yes. Okay. You are
I-
camped
I-
around the fire.
I would also like to do something during the evening, but Ben, please.
So what's your whole fucking deal? Like, how did you end up stuck with these people?
Who's that addressed to?
Ross, who I'm on watch with.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
I ended up in
oh god, the Watchers? No.
Foresters.
Lion!
Foresters. Foresters.
Oh God.
Thank you.
Night watch.
Everybody
Sorry.
together. Foresters.
Like,
Hells Angels.
dude, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizards.
The Night Watch? All right.
Does it?
Our watch.
I'll
has-
take it. I'll take it.
The choristers. I like that.
Ooh, I like it. I'm in.
The Chlorists?
No,
Lannisters. I ended up as part of the Foresters when, on my journey from my homeland on the southern side shores of the Moon Sea, was found by one of their captains. It turns out that many of the young adventurers in the Moon Sea like to hunt my kind. Something about gaining experiences for bigger and badder things. And when I was down and out, he chased them off and saved my life. And that deed earned him one of my scales.
And I'll show you a patch under one of my gauntlets that has 3 missing scales. One of them is very, very fresh. I'm not sure if you were actually in the scene where I gave it to the Knoll, but if you were, you know that you've seen the ritual at the very least.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
neither Malagar nor Bert. Oh, sorry.
Well,
Continue.
it was done in the throne room, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it was.
So I'm probably there. Ah, all right. Well, what's the that's 2. Where's number 3?
The third one was given to a lizard folk tribe in the swamps to the west. Between...
Oh my god. Why is my brain escaping me tonight?
In the Umber Marshes.
Umber Marshes, thank you. I'm sorry, y'all. Clearly my head is
You're
elsewhere.
in Umber Marshes?
All right, was given to a lizard folk tribe of the Umber Marshes in an attempt to negotiate peace between them and the foresters.
I see.
Why do you find it unusual for one such as me to be among the humans?
But, I don't want to, say it, but I mean, it's about as weird as, Malagar joining us. Normally Drow tend to be, attacking dwarf places.
I have not known any of the dark elves, but my tribe does have legend that does say similar things about them.
Right, I mean, and I just want to make sure that I'm not against it. It's just a little bit weird,
You are not wrong. There are many among the foresters that still do not like my presence. That is why I was given this.
And I will show Belwyn the badge that reads, "Do not kill me, I'm a registered forester." That also has, "I'm with him," and a little arrow etched into it, pointing off to one side.
You're well prepared.
Those things all happened in the past. I'm keeping the game state as best I can, y'all.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. Alright, well, sounds good enough.
But what about you? Isn't it unusual for a princess to be sent out from her tribe?
What, sent out? Oh, you should be careful with your words there, my lizard friends. No, I volunteered to go out, to go forth and meet your, your, what is it, a government? Is that what you call the collection of things you have outside the mountains?
My tribe has a shaman leader. It's actually one of the reasons I've left the tribe.
No, we're talking about the king of Aglarond, not your shaman. Well, I'd be happy to meet your shaman too.
Maybe you already have. Someday, I will be taking over as shaman.
Oh, well, that's nice. I'm happy to help you ascend to shamanhood or whatever it is that looks like.
He'll actually kind of get real serious for a moment and lean in towards. We don't have a fire. How am I seeing right now?
I don't
You're
think you are.
Oh, good. Okay,
That
cool.
makes you really excellent on watch.
I will lean in towards the wall.
Are you
You know
doing
where
this
Belwyn's voice is
now?
coming from.
Sure.
You wouldn't happen to know of any earth spirits that I could commune with?
Nope, not really all about that whole, spiritualism thing. I got a god, and there's a few gods back at Boulder Hall, and, they're not really spirits so much as deities.
I was hoping to meet with one of the Bellador that Victor was on about. We met similar beings, but I did not have the chance to ask them.
Well, I'll keep an eye. Do you see them with your eyes? Is that the whole shtick?
The spirit of water that blessed me, I did see a physical manifestation of.
Great! I'll keep an eye out for that. And speaking of that, I should be keeping an eye out for other shite too, but it was good talking to you.
I mean, is there honestly that many things to be concerned about in one of your tribe's hidden tunnels?
Oh, yeah, no, far more than I should really list in any amount of time that's on air. But let me start telling you about it. And at that point, it fades to what happens next.
No, it's already black. It can't fade anymore.
True.
It's scene wipe. Scene wipe. Who's on the middle watch? Is it just Victor?
Victor and Malagar.
Okay. Do y'all want to talk, or shall we just skip past the watch?
Maybe we'll talk the next night.
The next night? Okay.
Well, I mean, we could talk now if you want.
Hey man, I'm just here to play D&D. Y'all do what you want.
It's up to you. I mean, we can just sit in silence for an entire 4 hours, awkwardly staring out into this tunnel system, maybe casually remarking on which is a stalactite and which is a stalagmite.
The stalactites are on top. You're a dark elf, Heavy. So you're in the Underdark. Does it feel natural? Right? Do you?
I always get them confused, actually.
Do you miss it? When you gotta go into the surface world?
I actually haven't spent that much time, or I haven't spent very much time in the last, say 100 years in the Underdark. I left really as almost a teenager from Menzabranzan and never looked back, really.
Interesting. How did you meet Perrin? He said that you guys knew each other quite well, and he trusted you, which is not something we've earned yet. So I thought maybe you could give us some tips.
Well, it was kind of a fluke, actually. We were on this, I don't know how to describe them, but a number of pirate crews in Atom Bell will take on thrill seekers. It's sort of a halfway between raiding and the pleasure cruise. I don't know how to describe it, really. But anyways, apparently we both favor the same clothing optional ship. Was how I met Perrin. And I didn't realize he was a forester until, we weren't, didn't have the insignia on, of course. But we got to know each other very well. And, we started talking much like this. And he told me, actually, I let him know that I was headed towards the Singing Sands. And he told me that, in fact, he had a group of his foresters out there who went that way as well and might need some help. So he suggested that I should link up with you all. And as fate would have it, happenstance would have it, we managed to do that. It'd be a pleasure. Cruise.
We're definitely grateful.
As am I.
We're grateful that it worked out.
Yes, and of course I've heard that traveling to the Singing Sands alone is probably not the best bet anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be of great help to me. But this interesting side trip to go see about gnolls, that's fascinating. They're fascinating beings, after all.
Yes, just the few that we've met, they're so, I don't know, more than other humanoids. They seem more I don't know, honest with themselves or
Yes.
less caught up with things. It'll be interesting when we meet a lot of them in their natural environment, as opposed to, I'm sure they were on the behavior they thought would most likely get someone to help their tribe. But when we meet them on the plains north of the river, they're just going to be, nolly knolls.
Yes, and I'm actually interested in seeing how other matriarchal societies operate. It's after all, Drow society tends to be women dominated, so it's always fascinating to me to see how they play out in other societies. But how did you come to be commander of this esteemed unit?
Well, we'd been traveling for a while. We lost our last commander, and we were in a situation where we were dealing with some slavers, and Victor, I was thinking I would break off and do something else, so they made me commander, and I had that's exactly how it went down.
Congratulations, I suppose.
Yes. You should know that our previous commanders, they tend to die or get lost, forever.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm hoping to break the streak, but
that would probably be good for you, yes. To not die.
Yes. Or be lost forever. All right.
On that awkward note, we'll just have silence for the rest of the 4 hours.
I really want Victor to be like, we got the hand of one of our previous commanders. You want to see?
I'm surprised Ross hasn't turned it into something like yet.
Victor doesn't interact with us lot, but
Paige, it's not for a lack of trying.
Sure.
Wildfire just won't let me take it out of the sock.
I mean, Wildfire is widely regarded to be the worst.
Mm-hmm. It's well known.
If you could get a requisition paperwork form for the hand,
totally.
You might could get someplace.
That involves paperwork, though.
He just needs to fill it out in triplicate. That's the way it works. My hands are tied.
But
So it's Wildfire and Hewitt on third watch?
And Malagar.
And Malagar.
Oh, okay.
Malagar is a drow.
Yeah.
So I do ask you about how you met Perrin. We've already covered that, so you tell me the same story functionally.
I would actually love to hear your reaction to clothing optional pirate pleasure cruise.
I would probably Wildfire would probably dig into that a little more than our noble Victor did.
It's very freeing. You should see usually on a pirate ship they're very hierarchically driven, but when everyone's naked, it's a lot more egalitarian. You see.
I would assume the captain would still wear some kind of feather in his hair to indicate that he is a captain. In the need for a maneuver of some sort.
Yes, in his hair.
Well, somewhere, I suppose.
Which hair?
Yes.
I mean, it could be any amount of hair. I mean,
yes. No, we definitely encourage that.
Yeah, Victor wasn't too surprised. The early morning sparring sessions that Perrin puts on, they're not clothing optional, but you get a good idea of exactly how much body hair that guy has.
There's a lot of it.
So was the lack of clothing a great additive benefit when you took on other vessels?
They was usually the first reaction is shock.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yes, and the element of surprise is what we have. We can seize upon them in our nudity, and I can't tell you how many ships we've taken just where they were completely frozen up, and we didn't even have to shed a drop of blood. They were simply like, "Please take our goods and leave us be."
Well, I mean, I suppose that would work in a lot of cases. Yeah.
But clothing optional, see. So you could certainly wear other things, but most people opted for a certain amount of nudity.
I mean, I imagine there were a lot of leather daddies there, ultimately.
Yes, leather's very popular.
Yeah.
But you do have to be careful to, keep it well conditioned. Otherwise, the seawater is just murder on it.
Oh, of course, yes. Well, I mean, but you probably want some kind of armor to protect yourself if you're going to invade another vessel. Right? If it comes down to some kind of battle, right, you wouldn't want to be in the Altogether without any kind of protection.
Well, people find different things to wear that sort of complement these things. Yes.
Well, that's fair.
But you might enjoy it. I think I have a brochure here. You should try it sometime. And he hands over a glossy little scroll.
Wildfire will take a look over it. Actually, it'd probably be pretty easy for a wizard to do that, because, all you really need is just like a spell components pouch on like a leather strap around your neck, and
yes,
you're good to go. I mean,
some sort of bandolier that you could wear, or on a harness of some kind.
Exactly. It could serve multiple purposes, I suppose.
Yes, you usually don't wear armor. In fact, I think that'd be wonderful. Yep. You should. Listen. They might waive some of the fees for you.
Sounds like it would be fascinating for sure.
Oh, absolutely. It's and it was definitely a nice change of pace. Oh God, where did he go?
Oh my God, we lost Joe.
Nice change of pace.
Nice change of pace.
Yeah.
There he is. Joe's back.
Tell them, Malagos. Yes.
Knocked me off the internet. It was so bad.
I was just saying it was a nice change of pace from the hotel business, which was really. After a while, a bit slow.
Oh, you were in the hotel business?
Yes, I used to run, a couple of different hospitality centers in Waterdeep. It was very exciting. No, it was terrible. They had so much paperwork, and really the amount of stuff around arson investigations is really too much to behold.
How much paperwork now?
A lot.
I'm sorry. Did you say arson?
I did.
You're not awake.
I think you're asleep.
I'm not here.
You're asleep.
Yeah.
The character.
Ross wakes up.
Did you say arson?
Yeah, Mr. Team, what happened to Waterdeep, really?
I'm now gravely concerned with the fate of all of our characters from season 1.
But the people I worked with, they were good people.
That's good. I mean, it's hard to find good people. Lots of people are lagabouts or layabouts or not really interested in pulling their weight.
Oh yes, and they worked hard. I mean, there's all these guilds you have to deal with there, and different sums of money that you have to use to grease the palms of the various organizations, and it was a study in regulatory capture, that entire city.
Can only imagine.
Fair description.
But yes, so I decided I needed a number of things happened in between, but then I decided I needed a break and found myself on this ship, as well as a fully licensed cleric of Sune.
Right, Sune. How long have you been a fully licensed cleric now?
I think about it. 3 months. No, 4 months. How the time flies.
Huh. Amazing what night school can do. It really is.
Yes. I got a lot of credit for things I already did in the past. It was very convenient. They said the school of the real world really got me ahead. So, but what brings a wizard like you, who could be in a high tower, to places like this, Malagos says, looking around at the, dripping walls and scurrying like little insects and so forth.
Well, I never really fit in with Simbark's council. They were always kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's what I've heard.
No, I'm not a big fan of them personally, and my old master Elaine gave me a way to get out of it by joining the Foresters, and they were interested in recruits. Certainly, they do not get many recruits with my specific kinds of skills, so I took them up on the offer to be able to travel the world. I'd never been outside of Valpentalar before then, so
So
seemed
you
like a
wanted,
good reason
you
to
wanted to see
leave.
things. Yes.
Well, I mean, after Elaine died, it seemed like the right way to honor him, and honestly, not being in the city was easier than being in the city.
I see. Yes, that makes sense. Loss is... you just see things around every corner.
Yep.
But,
you know,
so does this mean that you've gotten in with the Simbok Council?
The real interest shows up.
well, maybe. My master, my old master, was about to be added to the Simbark Council. He was
Wow.
a couple of weeks away from being for the inauguration ceremony before he was murdered. So, and it was a much better story about a month ago than it is right now. So, when I wrote it several months ago, not now. Now a little close to home. So we'll move on from that.
That must have been really stunning.
It really threw my entire world for a loop. My life up till then had been, well, an upward course since I met Master Elaine, and then it got complicated again. But I made it out of there with a lot of hard work, in essence.
It sounds like a lot of us, you're looking for meaning in the open road.
Yes, I think so. Wanting to do good things and find good people. Good people are so hard to find, so...
Aren't they, though?
So hard.
I've always been really curious about magocracies. How come it doesn't just devolve into open combat? How can there be a council of them? Aren't they just there showing off who is the more powerful spell and who is the higher tower? And eventually they just, start blasting each other because, I don't know, they have all these offensive spells. Well, why not do something with them?
I suspect it's because of the magic that the Simbel used before she disappeared to ensure that none of that would not reach that level.
I see.
There are certain magical rituals in place that make that very difficult. Not impossible, but very difficult. And honestly, everyone would smack everyone else down if such a thing happened.
Sounds like an uneasy equilibrium then.
Well, So what brought you out of the Underdark? I mean, I suppose I have not met many drow who have traveled this far.
Yes, well,
And most of the drow I've met have been followers of... what is that god name?
Loth? Loth?
No. It's the... Not Loth, not the evil one.
No.
As I scroll through the
Illustrate.
document.
It's in chat.
Thank you.
Line.
Elistray. They're trying to do... They functionally try to do dark drow outreach to kind of...
Yes.
Convince... Like, historically, the elves of the Yearwood have had a strained relationship with the drow.
Right.
And by strained relationship, I mean hundreds and hundreds of years of conflict.
It's true. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here. I think some of these things are connected, like my interest in Sune's particular brand of love and pleasure was also part of the reason that I had to leave Menzabranzan in a big hurry, because I don't know how to... Let's just say that I impregnated the wrong princess, and that really disturbed the balance of power at certain levels. It's very complicated. The internal politics of drow culture make it really inadvisable to do what I did. So I had to leave in a big hurry. And there was also sort of the more fundamental conflict I had with how they treated anyone who wasn't drow. But Well, that goes even further back, really. Let's just say I didn't like it.
I can only imagine living in a civilization like that.
Yes, it's brutal and unforgiving, but also very myopic.
We probably while away the rest of the evening kind of pleasantly chatting, right? Wildfire wouldn't be rude and like get out a book or anything like that. He'd probably introduce you to Hewitt.
Yes. We could compare some of our books.
Indeed. You go over some of your contracts and he'll
Yes.
right there, I'd consider redlining that.
I think the biggest difference is that all of Malagar's books are picture books.
No, I've got some written material as well.
Oh, good. Some fanfic.
Slash fic.
This is the one I wrote about the Blackstaff.
Yes.
This is the one I wrote about the black staff in Kafra.
Ooh.
The biggest, blackest staff.
Well,
Yep.
I think we figured out why the arson came in.
I don't think it's arson if the Blackstaff does it to us.
No, that's justice. As you are traveling on your second day, could I have your marching order?
Hey, Paige,
Just for no particular reason.
I am also going to let you know that after the plethora of baddies that Belwyn listed out during our watch the other night, like, I'm now actively spotting for purple worms, ropers, Dorgar, troglodytes, darrow, aboliths, like I am just like constantly like, what was that? What was that?
All right.
He's definitely in front because I cannot handle that level of nonsense.
Okay.
Malagar, is your dark vision out to 120? I can't remember if drows are 120. You're muted.
Aha! 300 feet.
300 feet? God.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
super long dark vision.
I that's what everyone tells me.
Inappropriate. So I'd imagine that, like, yeah.
I mean, I could be anywhere.
I would imagine I was like in the middle then, because
yeah.
that'll give him the most coverage over everything functioning.
Yeah, I'm not really a big bruiser or anything. Anyways.
I'll be in the front with Russ.
Sure. I imagine, Victor, you'll take up the rear, and I'll be in front of you.
That seems reasonable to me.
All right.
Whatever you're doing, Paige, it is like 100% not in the right place.
No, I understand that. This was not built to have the right place in it. I've got our watches on the right side and our marching order on the left side. Just in case I need to-
Raz?
It's everybody supersized.
Yes,
I
everybody's
was going to say,
supersized.
I'm just supersized compared to Goose.
Ross does enjoy being supersized. So the next day, or whatever passes for day in this place, y'all are heading through a bunch of dwarven caves, then you go into some natural caves, and you get into a stretch of natural caves that actually has some really pretty blue crystals in it, and they glow very faintly, like very faintly. But given that your eyes are so dark adjusted at this point, it becomes immediately visible. And let's see. Actually, I should check.
Is this still dim light?
It is like the crystals, like in a 5-foot radius around them, might have dim light, but other than that, it's dark. No
Got
light.
Okay.
And Victor really wants to lick them. It's those chompers. They just want that crystal.
Recharge my crystal power.
Like, you don't know why you want them, but you really want to chomp them.
We require more minerals.
Not allowed to carry salt anymore. I just keep eating it.
The minerals marine.
Seems right.
Paige, good lord, what are you? What's even
many
happening?
rolls.
I
Don't worry
know.
about it. It's fine.
I'm concerned.
A little bit.
Ross, don't forget that on your next initiative, you'll have advantage.
I'm
Well,
not
that's
sure
good.
why that would even come up.
I think we're about to be attacked.
No!
Why?
Because Victor's eating all the crystals, and like we're gonna stop him. So like,
Paige just rolled five rolls with advantage for some reason.
Now I can't stop imagining Victor as Kirby just running around and just up all the crystals.
I use the crystals with dignity. I break off a piece, and then I just snack as we ride.
Right, exactly.
So
I was
when
never
you-
implying it wasn't with dignity.
I don't get
always.
down on all fours and just start.
Always with love. Always with love.
Yeah, so when you break off a crystal from its from where it has formed, it no longer glows.
Oh,
Aw.
I'll still eat it.
Okay. So as you are traveling through the tunnels, Ross, in your hyper aware, hyper alert state, you hear a scuff of a boot ahead of you about 60 feet. What do you do?
I'll kind of throw a
Actually,
claw.
Ross in Malagar. Sorry.
Okay. So I'll kind of throw a claw up to stop Belwyn, and I'm going to silently just kind of concentrate on the area that I heard it from. Do I see anything within my magical dark vision?
Mandrew, what does Malagar do?
Let's see. Hang on, I need to.
It is beyond a curve in the tunnel,
Yeah.
so you cannot see it because of geometry.
Yes. Well, I'll just whisper to everyone, "Hey, someone up ahead."
Now, I remind you, you have 6 riding lizards with you, and they are not remotely quiet.
I'll do the hand thing where I do this.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we all know what that means.
It means stop, is what Malachi just says.
What?
Yeah.
Is that some kind of drow symbol? I don't.
Yeah, no, stop.
Have you given out 3 handies? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
That's a symbol from his days as a naked pirate.
Oh wait, are you telling me you got a shake weight?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Will all of you shut up for a minute?
Tip
We
to
might
tip.
be under attack.
And with that, I'm actually going to do something I've not really ever had to do before, Paige. But I'm going to close my eyes, and as a sight-based predator, like it's unusual.
That's not how that
It's
works. Yeah.
unnatural. But like, I'm going to just like really listen for a minute, and I'm going to try and see if I can pick out like either where they are or how many there are, any sort of detail to the sound that I'm hearing.
Okay. Ben was leaning around making a funny face, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I realized he's actually working on the mic. But it was a very funny goatee face.
People can't hear me. They must hear me.
Yes, because you are a very loud goat.
Bah.
He is a very loud goat. All right, make me a I hear things check, and since you are concentrating so strongly, you may do so with advantage.
Ooh. I got that shift. Nope, that just.
It's either shift or control or alt. Just try all 3. You'll
It's
find
shift.
I forgot to install the thing that lets me do the D20 beyond.
one. Just roll it in D&D Beyond, or let me know what the number is.
How does technology work?
No, so the friends at home, I've gotten a new motherboard, and
Oh,
having
muzzle top!
to-
I didn't know that.
having to reinstall all the things has been
Yeah.
a giant pain in the ass.
So
Yeah.
for reference, what actually happened is he got a new computer and kept his old graphics card. That is what actually happened.
So Paige, I've got a 16 on that check.
Hard to tell. Apparently, whatever it was is now very quiet.
Victor, I don't hear them anymore. It could be an ambush. Maybe it's those Dorgar. How should we handle it?
We should send a scout.
All right, I will take
What
that
about
as a
Hewitt?
indicator that
What
I
about
should
Hewitt?
scout.
No. What about Hewitt?
I mean, I'm not going to volunteer Hewitt, but, on paper, Hewitt seems like a great idea. What do you think, Wildfire?
Sure, I'm willing to send Hewitt forward.
Hewitt is used to getting destroyed in any manner of ways.
Hewitt knows that I'll bring it back.
All right, you can make me a Hewitt-sized stealth check.
Nailed it.
Oh, wow.
Woohoo! A natural 20. Nice.
Wow.
Do it.
All right. So Hewitt lets you know that there are 6 small-sized, gray-skinned humanoid figures ahead. Do you want her vision?
Do I have a targeting pattern on these guys? How far down the tunnel are they?
They are approximately 120, 130 feet down the tunnel. The tunnel kind of makes some zigzags, and they're fetched up on the sides of the tunnel, looking like they're waiting.
Sure. How long would it be until I can have a straight shot at them?
You would have to travel about 100 feet till you got an angle on them because of the curvature of the tunnel.
Sure. I'll let everyone know. What do I recognize the kind of creatures they are?
Are you using her eyes?
Yeah, I'll look through her eyes.
Okay. Make me a do I recognize these humanoids check.
Nature?
Nature's one way to do it.
Arcana? Arcana seems not like the thing that would do it.
Sure. So
I'll give you a nature. No, it's a terrible roll.
They are small-sized, gray-skinned humanoids with kind of long ears.
Sure, I will describe that to
and
everyone.
funky eyebrows.
Yep, I'll
Do
describe that
I
to everyone.
recognize that?
Make me an I lived in the Underdark for a while and I know the races of the Underdark check.
Was that like survival, nature?
Pick one.
History.
Ooh,
Malgar, you may make this roll with advantage.
yay! That means I should click it again.
Wow, you guys are awful.
We've never.
Woo!
At least Victor's never
Spicy.
been in the Underdark
Yes.
before.
Yay!
I don't know what you're talking about, Paige. This is clearly the purple worm that Belwin described to me last night.
It's been a while since I've been in the Underdark, see? But I got better the second time.
So, if they're small-sized, that means they're either Dwergar, Darrow, or Zerfneblin.
Zerfneblin. I'm with Zerfneblin.
Yes, and Zerfneblin are the ones that have the long pointy ears, and they're gracile rather than chonky.
It fits. Why don't we dismount and creep up on them, and I'll throw some fairy fire on them, and the rest of you can do whatever it is that you do.
Now,
Sounds good to me.
Zerfneblin tend to be a relatively secretive and dour race,
Yeah.
but they are not the type to attack other humanoids unprovoked.
Drow humanoids.
They, depending on their past experiences with drow, they may treat that drow with certain aggression given past experience with drow communities who believe in taking other humanoids as slaves. And there have been great battles fought that way.
Maybe I shouldn't be your diplomat in this case, but perhaps you could go and make pretty words at them and see what they really want out of life.
Don't
Are they
worry.
along our path?
Let me put this in a battle map just in case.
What?
Don't worry, that is why we have Silvio. Oh.
Everybody pause for 10 seconds.
Right.
Well, we can talk.
Yeah, you can talk
No.
all you want. Yes, you can.
No, you can't. That's the whole point.
You're not my supervisor.
I think in this specific case, I am your supervisor.
You are not my supervisor.
Because there's sounds along with the visual.
I know that, but that's not going to stop me from talking.
Okay.
Professional stream.
And
Professional.
Really should, though. We're transition now. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll just walk out there and tell them to fuck it off because we're going through. I don't know what your panties are fucking what for.
The
So the
Doragor, Belwyn, the Doragor.
So the tunnel does split. There's a northern passage going God knows where. Hewitt flew down the southern passage and said that they're just a bit. It goes north and then jogs back south, and then they're in kind of a chamber.
Sure.
I have heard that the Doragor are natural explorers.
But
They are, and that with 22, you know that they're extremely fond of rubies.
But I thought they had pointy ears, and we didn't think they were Dorgar.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, you said Durgar. I meant Svirfneblin. Svirfneblin like rubies.
Right.
I don't know what any of these are, so the world is my oyster. You can't stop me.
We will support.
It's gray, cold, and slimy.
We will support you, Belwyn, if you wish to treat with them.
Right then. So, I heard that there were 2 paths. Which one? Have
So
you scouted out?
there's a northern path up here
Right.
that you have not gone down. There's a southern path here, which is the one that Hewitt flew down.
All right. Great. I go in the direction Hewitt went because that's something that's already known.
All right, you may move your mini as appropriate.
Then I will go with you, but I will stay behind you.
Great.
Wait, are you sneaking up on them, Belwyn?
Belwyn, sneak.
Yeah, she's not sneaking. We all have her back.
Yeah, let's just go.
Okay.
I mean, at a respectful distance.
So I moved 50 there.
Okay.
Where's the button? I forget. It's a Q.
Yep.
QQQ. You taking the lizards as well?
They might actually just want our lizards.
Yeah.
They are nice lizards.
Thank you.
They come with a little tiny lizard that offers you 15% off your lizard insurance.
Ooh.
Switch to him.
That's a
All right,
kick.
I will, as rear guard, I will attempt to bring the lizards with me. I have a smidgen of animal handling, so it's not completely impossible.
There's no stress on this check. They will happily follow you.
Okay, so put the lizards around me, please.
You know what? I'm going to make lizards public property here.
Okay.
When everyone gathers back together again, Malaga will be like, "This sounds like a good situation for me to upgrade everyone's dark vision. Does that sound like a good idea to everyone here?"
Sounds great.
Yes.
Okay. Hang on. Pulls out a small index card. Like this, and then like that, and then like this again. Eyes of the night.
Wait, why did you need that piece of paper for that?
I've done this wrong before, and it was very unfortunate. He tucks it back into his jacket.
I
And
see.
everyone now has dark vision out to 300 feet.
Fancy.
Get it? I see. Ah.
Ah!
All right, all lizards should be public property now.
Where's Hewitt? Could you move Hewitt to where Hewitt is in space, please?
I thought Hewitt flew back to you.
No, I would have left him there.
Okay.
Or had him flown a little bit further down and landed or something.
He did
To
really
give
have
me
a really awesome stealth check, so.
Yeah. So Hewitt is 100 feet as the crow flies from this point.
Okay.
But she had to go south and then back north again to get there.
Sure.
So we continue to walk, I assume.
Yeah. Yeah, Belwyn, why don't you move forward as the representative of the party until you get there, and then we'll move ourselves, and then Paige can do whatevs.
Okay. Just put Hewitt on the wrong layer. Apologies. All right, so you get there and you see another cavern open up.
Maps.
How do they work?
And you realize there is a gray-skinned figure that all of a sudden has no Nothing between you and them. I'm just checking. All right. Yes, you notice a small gray-skinned figure that now no longer has anything between them and you to block line of sight so they can hide. And you see a deep gnome crouched there in a very much waiting posture. And when the figure sees you, they begin to cast a spell.
Interesting. Hey, Malagar, are you going to put yourself in, or is that where you want to be?
No, I'm gonna move myself. Oh god, if I only had the right controls.
Professionals, everyone.
Professionals.
I believe we're out of counterspell distance.
What is it? 100 feet or is it 60? I'm 55 feet away, so
Okay, counter.
I don't think so.
All right, their form blurs and shifts and becomes kind of hard to see.
Okay, can we do things now, or
Do whatever you like. We're not in initiative.
Okay, well, this is as good a time as any for a little fairy fire, I think.
So, Joe, you can recognize the spell as they cast blur on themselves.
Sure.
And,
That was a defensive spell, Malagar. I'm not sure if it's necessarily fairy fire time.
Right then, just not a problem. Get out the way. We're traveling through. We didn't want nothing to do with you.
I'll wait.
Like, we don't want to hurt you. We just want to pass through this passageway.
This one steps out in its blurred form, and then several more start to emerge.
What does emerge mean?
They come out of hiding.
They hop off the wall.
Yep.
Ooh, they're using... Now that Sylvia's gone, all the bad guys are like, oh, this wall technology.
Hacks! Hacks! So these are pictures of what they look like. Don't lose your minds because they're large.
Oh god, so big!
Does anybody want a podcast? I'm giving away a podcast.
Big, sharp, pointy teeth.
Yes.
If I knew where those guys were, I would have been a little ahead as well, because I want to make sure I have maximal target acquisition possibilities.
Okay. They all start kind of casting the same spell and backing away defensively.
Maximum fireball.
So none of them talk.
The one in front says, "We don't mean you any harm. You may pass by."
Sweet.
Do I believe?
Make me a do I believe them check, or do you want to rely on your passive?
I mean, my pass is pretty hot, not gonna lie.
It is much like you, pretty hot.
I'll roll a die.
Damn,
So-
Joe.
Amazon
Malagar,
Wildfire?
yes, Malagar believes that they are definitely more frightened of you than you are of them. Wildfire also gets that same feeling.
We should continue then.
All right,
I can east.
slowly.
Honestly, like, Ross is really impressed with Belwyn's kind of
Not just murdering people.
no, I'm gonna say it's almost like this gumption that she has, where she's like, if they're in our way, fuck it, we're going through them. Like, there's a certain amount of, like,
Chutzpah.
yes.
You know, when you're a princess, they just let you do it.
Do you have inspiration?
Do I have it now? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
I do not have it currently, no.
Good, because I was going to take it away if you did.
I
True
do
facts.
like
True facts.
Velcor is only here to see Belwyn get punched by something.
It's
I would-
only a matter of time. It's
Is
only
there a place I can donate bits for this?
I
All
guarantee.
right, Coda, set the punch Belwyn in the face one.
I'm sure
Give me a minute.
I'm sure actual violence isn't against Twitch's
That
I would just like to remind you that it's against Belwyn and not against Ben.
Correct.
is true. You're not wrong.
Also, do I need to switch to this as my mic? Is that where we're going? Okay.
That's the problem. But
Nobody
I didn't
told
want
me.
to derail the show. I was just turning my head and speaking louder.
You were scaring me. So
Let's just do this. It's not like we haven't had
Yes.
other snafus throughout the evening. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody. We're glad that you've all come and spent some time with us. Cannot hear you.
No, worse, way worse.
Okay, I think I've got it. There we go. Community challenge. Punch Belwyn.
Wow.
It's gonna
Get
end
'em,
immediately.
Get him, chat. Get him.
Yeah. How do I? Is this? Oh yeah, there it is.
I don't think it's fair to punch Belwyn because she's a princess. I mean, she can't change that.
No, way worse.
Hey,
What-
look,
Much worse.
What have we done?
you should
Let's
change-
go back to the previous Ben just talking louder in a direction
Yeah,
for
we
right
need to go
now.
back. We need to go back.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we're gonna knock out this challenge in like a minute.
all right, we go back.
Challenge! Challenge!
I thought I was setting it so high.
I don't know what the problem is. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out later. Sorry,
It sounds a little
technical
better now.
difficulties.
Ben.
I'll put my mic over in his direction.
That's not
All
how
right.
these mics work at all.
I am aware. All right, so the Zwerfneblin quietly back out of the way, and as you are passing by, one of them says, "I haven't seen dwarves down here in a very long time."
We're not a tour. We're a dwarven delegation headed somewhere. You haven't seen any, monsters or beasties or anything around here, have you?
The gnomes quietly look to each other for a moment, and then pretty much all of them are like, "Yeah."
Do you want to tell me about any of them?
It's the purple worms, isn't it? They're going to kill us in our sleep.
I got this shiny Snurf of Lebend treat, and I reach into my bag and I pull out a small ruby.
That gets an acquisitive gleam in the speaker's eyes. They saunter over, still blurred.
You try to give it to him, but you have disadvantage.
Yeah, you honestly try and give it to him, and you just keep failing. That poor gnome.
The Zwerfneblin gentleman says, "We could, perhaps. Where are you from, and why are you here?"
Look. You either want to give us the information and take the ruby, or you want to fuck right off. Let's be honest here.
"I'd rather trade information."
Shiny ruby snack.
What do you want to know?
"Where are you from, and why are you here?"
I'm from Valpentalar, and I'm traveling that way.
Valpentalar is a long way from here.
It is. You're not wrong. I've traveled a long time to get here.
It's kind of what we do. Wander all over the place.
The Zwerfneblin points at Belwyn and addresses Wildfire. "Where is she from?"
That's a little rude, isn't it?
You weren't talking to him, so...
I don't, Belwyn, where are you from? The dwarf city?
I'm from Boulder Hall.
Ah. Why are you in these tunnels? Is Boulder Hall expanding into this area?
No,
No.
we're just trying to go that way to get under the river.
Paige, while this conversation is going on, Ross is keeping a cautious eye on the others just to make sure that this isn't some sort of cunning distraction to get our lizards. Me
Noted.
mostly, but
Yes.
They'd be like, "You have such a noble riding lizard. They not even willing to saddle it."
Mhm.
these other guys too.
Yes. You're afraid this is an amblersh because they're all blurred.
The
Okay, I was
gross page. Gross.
You stumbled with that pun.
Even Ron's getting into it. The Zwerfneblin looks at Belwyn. This is not very far from our society. We're actually an exterior guard for it. We become interested in anyone who passes through these tunnels.
Oh. Well, for what it's worth, we don't have any desire to. I mean, unless you're looking for expand your, tourism industry, we're not really looking to stop by.
In the tunnels ahead is an old dwarven city. It is mostly destroyed and filled with ghosts. Perhaps demons or devils as well.
Do you know some way around the city?
I know many ways in the Underdark.
Could you guide us one of the ways around the city?
Hey,
So we have to go into the horrible city of ghosts and demons?
is
Sounds
this,
like not a good look.
is this city on our map?
Yes, there's an old nexus of tunnels on your map that looks like it's like a corner of a city, but they haven't explored the rest of it, so they don't know.
So
It's like the suburbs.
Is our path go through that?
doesn't really take us through, or it takes us through the suburbs.
Yes.
Oh God, we have to go through Underdark suburbia. It sounds dreadfully
Where the
pedantic.
Karens, soccer moms in vans. Are you prepared, adventurers?
I mean, they're ghosts, so probably not.
They're just trying to live their best lives, Joe.
Well,
Live,
right,
laugh,
so
love.
these Sturfoblins nailed it. Help us just go around. That sounds great.
I mean, it sounds good to me.
The Zwerfneblin again glances past, and the person who has apparently elected himself speaker says, "We cannot. We have our own necessary business here."
We have some maps. If you could draw us a path, we will happily take it.
And I would get to see your maps?
Well, we would give you.
I look at Belwyn like I don't know if this is like a fair trade or not.
No, you are aware that this is a secret tunnel, right? That they didn't want anyone to know about. Like not this tunnel, but the.
Again, that's why I stopped.
Okay.
Because Wildfire doesn't give a shit, but like.
Does the map give anything away? Is basically what you're asking.
So, Paige, this requires a bigger question.
Sure.
What are relations between dwarves and Sturmklugen?
So Zwerfneblin have a reputation for being dour but fair, insular but not aggressive, and in many places, dwarves and Zwerfneblin get on all right. Boulder Hall, however, has no contact or code with these Zwerfneblin.
All right. I would like to remind you that my story path is to expand
Ding, ding, ding,
relations.
ding.
So yes, let's 100% share our maps with these people.
It's like I set it up there on purpose.
It's fine. Hit me.
Okay, so you share a bunch of maps with them, and it turns into rather a long, drawn-out process.
Is it burrito time? It's burrito time.
It's definitely burrito time. Also, Brother Flounder says I should never say that 3-word Karenic phrase again. So it becomes rather a process, and at one point in time, you've got all 6 of them standing around the map, pointing and arguing in rapid Zwerfneblin, which I don't think anybody speaks.
Nope.
It'd be odd, but not impossible.
We can barely scrape someone that speaks elf together. I don't know about.
Fair. So it becomes, kind of an internal debate, but they do end up sketching a path for you, and they point out that in this certain location there is no choice but to go through part of the dwarven city, and good luck, because they're not really sure how the tunnels work there. But if you want to get past this bottleneck, you'll have to go through part of the dwarven city. And they did point out that past that, there are some haunted ruins in the main cave that you'll go through, so be very careful.
So we'll go through a bottleneck. On the other side of the bottleneck are haunted ruins we'll also have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And then through that...
So, because there's a big discussion, because, like, well, if you go to the west here, there's no haunted ruins, but there's that chasm, and then the bottom of the chasm is magma, and in the magma are really angry fire elementals and salamanders.
And one white wizard.
Yes. A slightly crispy Balrog and one white wizard.
It's like asking New Yorkers the best subway route to get to.
Yes.
Somewhere.
You're going to have to go through Queens at some point.
So wait a minute now. Which Peachtree Street do I turn on after?
Oh my god.
Take the perimeter clockwise, 270 degrees.
Yes.
Oh, and then I get off at the Beaufort Highway, right?
The Beaufort Highway.
Well, what you do is you go down Peachtree Battle to get on Peachtree Industrial. And once you get on Peachtree Industrial, make a turn on New Peachtree. And eventually, New Peachtree turns into South Old Peachtree.
Mm-hmm.
So-
That'll get to the barter station.
For those of you listening that might be scratching their head right now, in Georgia, all roads are named Peachtree for your convenience.
In Atlanta, 60% of the roads are named Peachtree.
And many of our roads turned into a different named road at some arbitrary point.
Correct.
Also, we enjoy having roads that are named after the larger towns at the end, far ends of that road for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like Roswell Road becomes Alpharetta Road or Alpharetta Highway at various points in and on. It's an Atlanta traffic joke. It's funny. Trust us. It was funny.
So our characters get some of that real world knowledge from us. So they're not thrown by this Nephilim's directions as much as ordinary adventurers might have been.
Yeah. But they do find a way to cut you out of going through like a long track through the suburbs.
Great. Well, thank you for your help. We appreciate it.
It was nice to meet you.
All right, and here's your ruby.
Yeah, thanks. The Sverfneblin pockets it. By now, the blurs have long since expired, and they have not re-upped them. So, folk from Boulder Hall never come this far, but you might have rubies to trade?
Well, we got a wide variety of trade to trade.
If I perhaps took that to our matriarch, maybe she would be interested in trading with Boulder Hall.
That sounds great. And when you get to Boulder Hall, you should tell them that Belwyn sent you. That'll open all kinds of doors.
Would you perhaps put that in writing? I find that sometimes these things don't exactly work very well by word of mouth.
Right then. I'll put it in writing. I'll put a thing like, these Sverfneblins treated us well, and they want to trade. Moms, you should trade with them. Love, Belwyn. Shield.
Don't kill them.
Just some wording changes in there, but yes.
Yeah, I don't really listen to that. I'm a princess.
Guys.
Look, Belwyn is no Silvio, okay?
I mean, she did a pretty bang up job this time.
Mm-hmm.
She's still got a high charisma score. And with that, the Sverfneblin allow you to pass peaceably. And you are free to move.
And
We do that thing.
Okay.
That was an excellent bit of diplomacy, if I might say.
Yeah, that went very well.
So,
Thank you.
oh, go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
was really just being pleased with myself. Situation normal.
I mean, it's good to be pleased with yourself. So the path continues on, and when you get to the narrow bottleneck cut through around the dwarven town. The tunnel gets relatively small. It is only 20 feet across, which feels positively claustrophobic after having dealt with some of these larger tunnels. And when you look ahead, you discover that it looks like it is partially caved in.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
Well, we know from this Nevlin that this is a danger spot, so we will most likely do what we did in the last danger spot.
It's funny that I'm the only one that can pronounce Sverfneblen. I was not aware of that.
Snurf Neblin?
Sverf.
Sneflevlin.
Snurf Neblin?
Nailed it.
Rex.
Smurf Neblin. I got it.
Kerfufflin.
We continue. Oh God, please.
Well,
Yeah, so is this something that is going to hinder the writing lizards from getting
Nope,
through?
you'll just
Because I
have to
think that's
go
our
through-
biggest concern.
Yeah, you'll just have to go through single file.
We know.
Or they're in double file now, but who knows? And Belwyn, when you get there, and Ross, you can see it.
Pause. We know that this is a danger spot from the Serve Neblin we just talked to, so we're going to scout it like we did the last danger spot.
Okay, cool.
Sure, here it goes ahead. Checks out some stuff.
Yep.
Uh,
Actively spot for all the creepies that might kill us.
I do want to tell you this thing, though. So you notice that these rocks that have fallen here, very many of them have squished dwarf skeletons under them.
Oh God!
That is some incredibly bad luck.
That's really weird because dwarves really like to bury their dead with honor, if at all possible.
Yep, they do.
Malagar looks like up.
Oh, Malagar.
Malagar, don't look up. They'll attack us.
So,
Ooh.
with your keen perception and extremely persnickety eye for detail, you notice that apparently there was a ceiling trap here that must have been triggered to collapse the cave.
Okay. All right. Does any of the other ceiling look like it could also be a ceiling trap that could be triggered to crush us?
Well, you see down this way that oops, I should make that reveal areas. You see to the south that the cave there is choked with rubble. The corridor stretching to the east does not look. So this ceiling, once you get past this kind of gap here,
Right.
Once you get through the kind of doorway of it, it's not a doorway, it's a big arch. But once you get into there, it's a 50-foot high ceiling, and it does not look like it's been rigged to collapse. It is a very ornate ceiling.
Some adventuring party must have really pissed off the DM. I think rocks fell and killed everyone.
Very possible.
Nice.
But I will, step by step, head forward looking for any signs of danger. I think specifically it was ghosts that were shouted out as being a danger in this area.
Sure. But before we go there,
Mhm.
Delwyn, would you please make me an I'm a Dwarven Princess check?
Sure. What do you want from that?
Knowledge and history of Dwarven lands.
Paige,
And battle tactics.
I could have had that skill. You don't know.
You're welcome to roll it, Coda.
You're 17.
Okay. So, if there's dwarves crushed under the rock here, that means they were clearly fighting a retreat and collapsed the tunnel to protect the Heartland. The fact that they didn't come back and bury them with honor, which means either this place has been sealed off for all time, or nobody survived.
Great. I mean, of course. So yeah, we should probably be careful because, nobody survived whatever happened here.
You can't help but notice that Wildfire nailed his I'm a Dwarven Princess role.
I just read a lot of books, guys. I just read a lot of books.
You do read a lot of books.
I mean,
Yeah.
Just because it's a history check doesn't mean that it was applicable for him to roll it.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Paige said I could roll it, but also I might not have had the same information as you got.
So with an insight check, you also realize that whoever dropped this trap was probably left behind. But there are even a couple of skeletons, like this person here, who are not under a rock, which means whoever collapsed this cave did it with some of the fighters still inside, because they felt like that was the best they could do.
Yeah,
Which
this
implies
seems
a
real
whole
bad.
series of decisions that got made.
Seems real bad.
So is the implication where, like, we see the cave in front of us? Are we on the hearth side of the cave-in or on the invader side of the cave-in?
That's a real good question.
Well, but I thought you said that they figured it out from the way the skeletons were. I just didn't understand.
Yeah, this is the bad side.
This is the invader side. Okay, so
Yeah.
in theory, the soft, meaty center of the ancient dwarven city is on the other side of the cave-in.
Who knows? The skeletons are dried down to nothing, though. Like, it's literally, they look like chicken wings is all that's left. Just the bones of chicken wings. And people who really know how to eat chicken wings, not just like, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna slowly work my way forward.
Okay.
Hey, Victor.
Yep.
I know we're trying to get somewhere. Do we have enough time to collect the skulls and, do something for these folks? Might save us some trouble if there's ghosts around.
Absolutely. We could definitely take the time to, put them in a more fitting state for people that gave their lives to protect their countrymen. And we'll follow your lead on whatever that is.
I could say a few words over them. That's something
Alright.
I should do.
Yes, we can, yes.
I'm very excited. This is the first time I've gotten to do this.
So there's another collapsing ceiling here that looks like it might have sealed a tunnel heading north from here. This is a big column, the decorative column that supports the room. Each of these markers in here is a headstone, many of which are crumbling and destroyed.
So is it like dirt here?
No, it's a stone floor. Clearly, they were interred in a stone floor, then stone was placed on top, and then a headstone on top of that.
So it's a worked stone floor.
Yes, this is all worked.
Okay.
Well, except for the boulders, but it's all work stone, other than the boulders.
Sure. Paige, I ritually cast Detect Magic. I want to figure out what the magical state of this area is.
Okay. So a couple of the various dwarven corpses glitter with minor magical trinkets. But there is no kind of residual... It's 60 feet on Detect Magic? Pretty
30
sure.
feet. 30 feet. But I walk around a little bit.
So where you are now, there is currently no magical signature.
Sure. I mean, I'll walk. I'll probably get as far as the column and not any farther.
Move your mini as appropriate.
During the 10 minutes he's doing that, we're going to be picking up skulls at least.
Right, like, I'm going places that I assume people have already gone, right? Because, like, there are bodies over here as well, right? So I will go as far as people have gone. Right, so if that's here or that's wherever, right, there's a lot of bodies here. It's fine.
I just want to point out that whatever happened here a very long time ago.
No, I know. I'm just being cautious at this point.
Sure. I don't know how much farther your dark vision extends.
60 feet.
One day, I'm gonna figure out dynamic lighting. Today,
Has it
not that
been
day.
more or less than an hour?
It's okay.
It's been way more than an hour.
Okay. Well, Malar can still see 300 feet. So
Okay.
Yep.
So there's another collapsed tunnel to the south,
Mhm.
and if you can see 300 feet, then I'm just gonna open up the rest of the room.
What is this place, Belwyn?
So at the far eastern end of the room, there's a set of 8 wooden pews. an altar, and then a giant statue of Moradin.
Hmm.
You can tell that because in Dwarven under it, it says Moradin.
Is it common for something like this? Is a common setup like grave? I'm asking Belwyn. Like graves, then like a place of worship, like directly next to each other.
I mean, it's a wee bit weird. It might have been that they, had a cemetery here before, and then decided to set up a place of worship here, just figuring it was close. But it's not, normally you want a little bit more space between things. You don't usually put it in a passageway.
Mm-hmm.
You put like a shrine on the side, not necessarily a whole bunch of gravestones that's really on what looks like the road.
It's definitely architecture that forces people to walk by on the sides and walk past all these graves. There's certainly some psychology in that. Make of it what you will.
Can we make out what's written on the gravestones?
Sure. They each have a name, and they have a date that indicates that they're about 1,000 years old. And they all have like a dwarf's name, then loved by someone, and then fell at battle in defending our homeland on this date. So and so, daughter of so and so, saved her entire company by doing something glorious.
Sure.
On date.
They different dates. I assume that this is over a stretch of time.
Yes, the youngest is about 1,000 years old.
What's the oldest that we can make out?
About 2,000 years old.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting though because it's a completely full plot. It's not like a living cemetery, so to speak. Like it looks like it's completely full.
Malagar is going to creep forward while keeping an eye out for anything, trap-like, really.
Okay. Make me, no, I've got your passive. Creep forward is appropriate, sir. So, you get there, and Malagar feels a cold chill seep through his bones.
Oh, that's not good. I think something... Wait, he pulls out another card. Potentially spirits, ghosts, that sort of thing. Yes. He rotates. It's sort of this. It's this wheel, kind of, and he lines up the sort of physical symptom. Graveyard.
Like
yeah, no, that's definitely probably. Okay, so let me engage cleric sense.
Andrew, you may have a point of inspiration, my friend.
I mean, if nothing else, Malagar now knows how to install his Goldbox D&D program.
Yes.
Deep cuts.
Very deep cuts. Very deep cuts.
Got all these floppies. What?
Andrew, half the people in our audience have no idea what that is.
Back in the old days.
They're save icons. That's what they are. They're save icons.
Save icons. Three. Anyways, let's.
You're gonna save icon though,
right? Do I think there's something actively going on here?
In what way are you determining that?
Religiously?
A skill check or a spell or?
Yeah. Let's say a skill check, a religion.
Bring unto me.
All right, good thing I've got this point of inspiration because I think I'm actually really bad at religion.
Malagar, did you point out the feeling that you had, or was that?
Yeah. Malagar will totally say it with his mouth.
Okay.
Something feels off here. There's a cold breeze that went by.
When you're done with that.
You think you have the wheel thing upside down, or no? This one's for devils. It's not for undead. This one's for devils.
Should have bought the one for undead.
What did you want to do?
I would like to use Divine Sense.
Aha! What are you sensing?
Until the end of my next turn, this is anything affected by a hollow spell and mid location means celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that's not behind total cover.
All right, within 60 feet.
That would be a really useful skill.
It is a super useful skill. Let me see how far 60 feet is. Okay, you become aware of the presence of 2 undead. Ooh, wrong layer.
Right next to me.
In fact.
Hey, everybody.
So I'll be honest, Paige, while this is all going on, I'm definitely examining all the trinkets that are on the ground.
Okay.
Totally distracted.
I'm spending 75% of my brain monitoring the lizards and 25% looking out for wildfire. His habits are well known.
It is entirely true.
I tell you what, Victor, I can be helping you out with the lizards, seeing as how getting them to move through haunted grounds is probably less than easy.
I mean, are you comfortable giving them commands and telling them where to
Oh
walk?
yeah, like I'm comfortable giving them commands, but I will not base myself to ride upon their backs.
Right. Well, but I will help you with it because I was just doing it. The guy happened to be in the back, but I'm sure you're way better at it than me.
Oops.
So as you're standing there and Belwyn maybe says something with her mouth about, hey Malagart,
Oh no, I
don't look, but immediately to your north is a ghost.
What?
I have other things I'm going to say when focus comes back to me. I was letting other people talk.
Okay.
So Belwyn, who has been collecting skulls on her shields and is just kind of like holding the shield like a big old platter, is like, great dwarven ancestors, we are here respectfully and planning to consecrate these and give them off the final rites. If you're here, don't be pissed at us, please.
All right. With that, more ghosts waver into view.
Oh my.
And then they...
Uh-oh.
And we'll find out next week.
Throw us a party!
Yes. Ghost party.
With even more armor.
And if you thought living dwarves could throw a party, wait until their beer has aged
Ghost dwarves?
1,000 years.
Off
Yeah.
the chain!
Yes. It'll look like something out of Beetlejuice.
Cool.
All right.
Stop,
And
Paige.
we'll pick us up there next week.
Yay!
All right. Let me turn on the right music. This is kind of depressing cave ghost music. Let me get to
It's
All right. How's that? Oh, nope. Wrong. Let's try that again.
what?
There we go. That is much better. Feeling much more heroic now. There we go. I have lost all of my files. Hang on. So this is not the point where I say welcome to Feats and Fables. Thank you.
Nope.
Nope.
Are we starting the next episode already? I mean,
Woo!
I could go another couple hours.
Thanks for
fine.
joining us,
Do it.
everybody.
Thank you for joining
thank you
us.
for joining us on this adventure. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you, chat, for inspiration and guidance because we need it. We love having you with us, and talking to you is the highlight of our week. We'd like to thank all of our listeners and our supporters, which include Coda,
Dango Yet is in chat, but Brother Flounder 47 is our newest subscriber. Thank you, Brother Flounder. And to all of our other subscribers, we really appreciate it. To all of the people who are in chat, tossing bits and channel points our way, y'all are awesome. Good news, we did not raise enough money to punch Belwyn in the face.
Yeah.
Damn.
How much?
Yeah.
How much does it take?
nope. Kill it, Mike. Kill it.
Done.
All right. Well, please join us next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to see what happens with these ghosts next, and follow us to adventure.
Andrew, did you throw a muscle out there?
He gives his all.
Andrew, too much adventure. Too much.
Too much adventure.
There's no such thing.